Welcome YouTube! Welcome. It is Friday, we're working on Hyperslice and we're working on designing the boss for the demo. So right now I need to switch branch because I've been working on co-op. It took me way longer than I thought, just to be aware, just for you to be aware of that. I've been working on co-op. I said I was going to work on it for like a day or something, and it took me way longer. It was difficult. It was difficult, and it's not done yet. I have, let me check what I have left. I have to just stop the enemies targeting, but this is not super complicated. I have to make sure that the controllers are vibrating correctly. This may sound simple, but just to give you a perspective, inside of the player, when you're... let me show you. Inside of the player, when you're doing the vibrate stuff, you see it's pretty easy. I can just pass the ID to make the right gamepad vibrate. But then, when you are outside of the player, you need to know what player caused the action to know which gamepad you're vibrating, right? For example, if it's an enemy that dies because he's been pushed on a wall or something, you need to know who pushed the enemy. And so, basically, making the game available in co-op was full of that. I have this action that is very easy to do when I have one player, because I can assume that the global player reference that I have is the player, because there is only one player. And now it's slightly more complicated, because I need to know what player exactly is doing the action. And basically it's doing that everywhere. Every aspect of the game, of course, is modified by having co-op. So it's a bit frustrating, but at the same time, it's satisfying. So I'm still going to finish it. Because I think it's worth it. And I might run a playtest. I don't know yet. I need to think about it. But I might run a playtest specifically for that. Meaning the boss fight would not be here. And it would just be for people to try co-op in here, right? So I don't know. I need to think about it. But basically, when you are in co-op, you play as normal, right? I need to start the other one. You play normally. You can see both of them are playing. You can see at the bottom of the screen P0, P1. Each of them have the HUD. In here you have the tutorial that I modified slightly. The tutorial I can show you. Whoops, I can remove that. I can show you the tutorial. So now you're killing enemies instead of killing just obstacles, which I think makes much more sense. And you can use your ultimate to get a look. And when you're ready, you can go. And then you start the game. You can select a ship. So as you can see, this one can select this one. This one can also select this one. There's no problem. Those ones are locked because we are in the demo. And then we start. And when we start, look at that. Very easy. The boys are going to, by default, so of course the player got killed, but it's okay, we can continue. The boys by default are going to, all the enemies, are going to be dispatched 50-50 between each player. And then all of them, they have a way to change target. So for example, for the boys, if they go close enough to another player, they will switch to that target. But if I show you, for example, the, how are they called? The dashers, they're not going to switch target right away. They're going to switch target at the right moment. So the next time they're going to try to target someone, if they have the ability to target a new player, because the player is closer or because the other one is dead or whatever, they will switch to that target. So there was a bit of work on that, but it was not that hard. And so now I'm just playing as if I was alone. I didn't think about a way to revive I didn't think about a way to revive your the other player. Honestly, I might make it a purchase, basically. So if you have enough gems, maybe you are able to sacrifice an upgrade to have to revive the other player. I don't know. These are things that I would need to playtest a bit to know exactly what to do. So far, the difficulty of the game is slightly bigger when you play with someone else, meaning you have 1.5 more enemies, and supposedly they are going to have more health in general. They have a much higher probability of having more health, which honestly should be enough, I think. Also, I didn't show you that, but you can't damage the other player. As you can see, you can't damage it. And I was working on that this morning. The push will actually work. The push will work, but I just need to modify some code because I'm running some code in the process function which overrides the velocity. As you can see, the player starts being pushed and the velocity is overridden by some code, so I just need to modify some stuff. It's not very hard. But anyway, it's going to be pretty cool. I'm excited. And so yeah, the score was not reset correctly in here, right? Do you agree about that? The score was not reset correctly. Maybe there's a bug in here. I don't know if it's specific to... I don't know if it's specific to that, though. I would need to check. What else can I say? I had to do a lot of modifications. I had to make some choices. You know what? I'm going to show you. I had to make some choices, some design choices. So, for example, when you arrive at the upgrade scene, you basically see the same upgrade scene as before, right? But this time, you have the ability to pick 2 upgrades, basically. And I decided to give the players the ability to not take an upgrade. So you can either, for example, say, hey, I want this upgrade, and then the other one would go and grab this upgrade, for example. Or you can also say, my P0, because the player is better, I want the player to be more powerful, so I let the player grab the second upgrade, and then it continues. Basically, what we need is 2 upgrades to be picked, or to slice the portal, and then it continues. And I think this is nice. I think this is a nice decision, because it gives players the ability to play the way they want. I can totally imagine myself playing with someone else that is way worse at me than at the game. And so maybe in some situations, I might actually give them all of the upgrades, right? Imagine one of the upgrades is more health and also a shield or something. I might say, hey, you should take both upgrades. That way you're going to be harder to kill, and I can handle it and stuff like that. Do you know a good alternative to Affinity Designer? Inkscape and Graphite.rs. I think Graphite is a nice contender. It is not there yet. It is definitely not there yet. It's rough around the edges for now, but it's a web alternative, free and open source, that is also bringing some new and interesting things to the design process, and those things are procedural design. So it's been a long time since I've checked what they're doing. But Graphite.rs is definitely I think it's .rs. Let me check. Yes, it's definitely something that is interesting. So I think you should check that. And also wishlist and join the playtest. H-Slice. Fuck. I made a mistake. Wishlist and join the playtest. I will put it Sparkle. I will put it on here, and I will pin the message. Don't hesitate to join us. And I also need to pin it. Can I pin it from here? I can't. Twitch doesn't allow to pin message outside of official Twitch chat, but it's in the work. Okay, cool. That's good to know. The guy is doing amazing work with this add-on that I'm using to handle Twitch chat. It's called TweetChat, and it's so much better. So much better. So anyway, the two alternatives to Affinity Designer are definitely Inkscape and Graphite.rs. And I think the most interesting thing about this is this feature. It's a bit rough right now, but it's basically the ability to use nodes to do some procedural design. And if you are a programmer, if you're a bit familiar with shaders and stuff, you will realize that the graphics, that the vector world is completely far behind on things like that. It's missing so many features, and you will find yourself in many situations thinking, holy shit, if only I had the ability to like program a bit some of the stuff, you would make some designs so much faster, and it would be so much easier. One example that they have for the procedural stuff, I don't think they have the example in here, but basically one of the example they had for the procedural stuff was a light line. I don't know how to call that, but a line with a bunch of lights on it. And the cool thing is that once it is set up, you can modify the line however you want, and the lights are going to be procedurally placed on the line, it's so obvious, right? It is so obvious. And also, I guess the procedural stuff allows you to do stuff with noise, a bunch of things. It's really interesting, and I'm not using it very often, but I would like to be using it more. I think it's a very good alternative, and it's free and open source, so that's amazing. Okay. Was that Mendelbrot? I think it was. I need to switch. So I'm gonna make a huge commit that will be co-op work in progress 1, and I will switch to my main scene. And we are going to do some boss design. That is going to be cool, hopefully. Let's switch to main, and let's open up 3.6. You remember last time how I was struggling with Godot? It was constantly crashing and stuff. It's not anymore. So I guess maybe there was something with the computer, or there was a conflict between OBS trying to capture the treadmill app or something. It was weird, but it's now gone, and that's a cool thing. I'm pretty happy about that. It worked fine since then. I've been working every day with Godot, and it worked fine. So that's a good thing, right? So you can see this is my modification list for co-op. As you can see, I did all of that. It was a lot of different changes. And right now, I need to do that. So don't slice, it works. I just need to push. I could put it like that. I could even do that. Push the other. And I need to vibrate all of the controllers correctly. This is nearly done, to be honest. I have like a bunch of places where it needs to be done. This is easy. Stop targeting the animal, the everything when it's dead. Stop targeting entirely when all dead, because it's already, an enemy is already not targeting an enemy that is dead. But if all enemies are dead, hey, you know what? I think it already works. It already works because of the way I implemented the target switching. I think enemies should stop targeting entirely when everyone is dead. I need to check that, because they will get a new target. The target will be null, and so they will stop targeting entirely. No, it's not true, because some enemies... Well, I need to think about it, but I think it already works. And then I need to display the stats. This might be actually the biggest visual change I need to make, because at the end of on the death screen and on the win screen, I need to basically find a way to show the stats for both players. The stats that are not shared. That might be a bit tricky, but I'm really close to the end. So let's go back in here. Ability buttons are not recognized on the Steam Deck. Integrate in main. I could do that really quickly. And then we are going to do the boss. So let me show the boss. Compose in co-op. Compose in co-op. Did I change the key for pausing? For the push boss, we talked about it the other day, so I have a bunch of ideas and I have some pretty cool stuff to work on. And I've been thinking about the design a bit, and I think we should use, inside of the design, we should use our glitch test that we were making the other day. I think the boss should use some sort of glitchiness aspect like that and like that. Because I like the idea that the glitch is kind of what you are fighting in a way. Like you are fighting the creator, and the glitch could increase as you're fighting it and stuff. Like, it looks cool, right? And sometimes you need to make decisions simply because they look cool. I think it's a nice way of making decisions. Being like, hey, actually, you know what? This looks cool. Just let's do that. Of course, it needs some work. It's not amazing right now. It's missing some stuff, but it's getting there, right? So I think we should use that. Let me change really quickly. If we go into input, let me do this fix, because it's a small fix. Let me do the fix. If we go into input, I made something very stupid. Seshumara, hello. Look at that. I made something really stupid. The abilities are below an early return. If we are not in the editor, we return. And so the abilities are not used when you export the game. I don't know how long it's been like that, but it's been like that for a while. So that's incredibly stupid. So basically what I want to do is just this. And in here, I'm writing editor only below. That way I remember it. So in here I can press to have the abilities, and I wanted to have that outside also. I wanted to have that outside. Event is action just pressed restart. And for some reason, the game is not pausing. Is it because of the pause screen? Ah, I know. It's probably because... Why am I doing that in the process function? Seriously. Why am I doing that in the process function? I think we're not able to pause because somewhere the global can pause is not being toggled. But I will see that later. I don't really care. And so now... in here, I should commit that and say fix abilities not triggered in exported build and Steam Deck. In exported build, that's okay. Boop. All of that is nothing. Update if you want. This is for co-op, I think. So that's good. That is very good. Let me do two things. Let me remove that, because I was torrenting some stuff. And let me check really quickly what we have in here. It's Arkham that was asking if I was streaming today or not, but I was streaming. Oh, and Mars, you told us, got this email in this morning. Just announced, sign up to be the first to pre-order. Ah. Don't you think that GameStop has no idea that they're going to be able to pre-order or not? Don't you think that they don't know? And they're just assuming that you will be able to pre-order, so you join a mailing list, and the moment they are able to do pre-orders, they will do it. I don't think they necessarily have insider information or something. You see what I mean? They're basically just creating a mailing list. Probably. At least that's the way I'm seeing it. Okay. So, on the boss, appear sequence, phase sequence. Yeah. How do I tie that together? Phase sequence. I'm wondering if I will not create. I'm wondering if I'm not creating a nice little. How do you call that? I'm wondering if I'm not going to create a nice little. A nice little. I don't know. I'm wondering if I'm not going to create a nice little state machine. That's what I wanted to say. State machine. Right? State machine. I'm thinking maybe it's gonna be easier to keep track of what I want to do instead of doing stupid things constantly. So I think, yeah, let's do that. Let's try to I think we know what we want. So now let's put it in place and let's try to see how it feels. Right? Let's try to see how it feels. I have a sprite. Oh, because I was thinking of using a sprite, right? And I have a polygon like that. So I can make it a circle quite easily. I'll put it in here. To do draw circle. Get configuration warning. We can remove that. In here, it's going to move and slide and stuff. Okay, so let's define. We have an enum for the side. Let's define enum states. States. Appearing, or just appear, maybe. I don't know if maybe I'm going to make the states simpler. Appearing. The boss starts spawning from the middle, growing. This pulls you. When the boss reaches its final shape, it creates a shockwave. Okay. The fight starts. La la la. Spawn boys from inside the arena. Move to random location while spawning boys. So we can call it like phase boys, I think. Then phase missiles. But in phase missiles, we are going to have two substates. So I don't know if I define substates in here or if I make the distinction later. Maybe I can have another substate for that, or just a boolean to know in where we are. That could work. And then phase out arena, something like that. And then probably something about death, so like death, and so in here I will call it appear. Right? Yeah, let's go with that. In here, vart state, it's gonna be states. Can I do that? It's not a valid type, you fucker. It's gonna be states appear. Do we have idle? Do we have an idle state, maybe? Maybe we do have an idle state. I don't know. We'll see, right? We'll see. Maybe we have a wait state where we wait before doing the next action. So then in here, we will match the state and we will say states appear, pass, and then we can just have a bunch of those. I have five things. Okay, appear, phase voids, phase missiles, phase out arena, and phase death. Okay, then we need something to switch. So func switch state. We are going to have a new state. We are going to have a new state, which is going to be an int. And if new state is different than the state, we do something. So if it's equal, we early return. I prefer that. And then we match again. This is where we do the transitions. This is where we do a bunch of transitions. Force field, damage effect, timer, timeout. I'm just clearing things a bit in my head, okay? So all of those things are like signals. In here we have some effects. And in here we have the behavior. Blah, blah, blah. Switch state. And it's in here that we are going to define the new things, right? So in here we do state is equal to new state. And that's it. All right? All right. Boss visuals, boss shield, boss special arena. Okay, boss shield preview. We have so much stuff to do, I don't know what to work on. But I think doing that is cool. So what we could do in here is simulate some stuff. So when we start, I think starting doesn't mean that. Starting means switch state, states appear. So maybe we need a pre-state. Maybe we need that. Baba de Bois, thank you for the raid. Welcome to the 49 new cult members. Welcome everyone. Bonjour à tous. Hello, I'm Mr. Elliptic. I work with Godot right now on Hyperslice. The game is pinned at the top of the comments section. You can join the playtest if you want. I'm working on boss design right now. How was your stream? You were doing music stuff. Wow, exciting. Thank you for the raid, by the way. Thank you for the raid and welcome everyone. We talked about the Switch 2 before that for quite a while. It was pretty cool talking about that. So don't hesitate. Good. Making the music of John Lee. Wow. That's exciting. My brain is melting. That's exciting. That's exciting. Being able to do that is very, very cool. Very, very cool. Congrats. Congrats. So I think we need another state. Lucas, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. I think we need another state. State. How would you call that? It's not an idle state. It's not an idle state. It's more of a pre-start state, right? It's a non. How can I call it? It's a non. Like it's like the default state before you start doing anything. You're not even appearing. You're like hidden. Should I say hidden? Or pre-started initial? Initial. Yeah, maybe. Initial doesn't really tell us anything, but hey, you know what? Why not? Initial. Let's say initial. And so we'll start in initial. And in initial, we don't do anything. Right? When you are in initial, you don't do anything. And when you are in appear, in here to do, start the appear animation. Start the appear animation. In this case, what we can do is yield a get tree create timer, like 1.0 timeout. Fuck, it's not like that. It's like this and go to 3. I can print starting appear anim, and in here we can say anim finished, and in here we would switch timeout. What is the problem? Get tree? Oh, I'm stupid. Oh, I'm stupid. Oop. I'm stupid. You would switch. No, you would switch state. Oh, inside of here you would switch state. Is that a problem? No, it's not. And the new state would be states dot phase voids, right? I think that could work. I think that could work. We have the animation. When it's done. When it's done, we switch to voids. Then in here we do some stuff, and then we are dead. Okay? Very cool. Very cool, very cool, very cool. In appear animation, we won't do anything. In here, we need to have some sort of timer. I guess we are going to have some sort of timer that will tell us where we should move or something. After you slice the portal, the wall disappears and you're left in the void for a small amount of time. Yes. Spawn state, maybe. You're right, it could be the spawn state, but it could also make us think that spawning is like appearing, right? You see what I mean? I think initial is fine for now. It's really fine. I mean, I'm the only developer in here, so if I understand what it is, it's fine. If I understand what it is, it's fine. So it starts in here. Let's do the sequencing, I think. Let's do the sequencing. Spawn voids from inside the arena. Move to random location while spawning voids. So I think we can have a generic like behavior timer. What do you think? We can have a timer that is like that. Timer spawn. We can have a timer behavior. A timer behavior that is one shot. And on timeout, we do some stuff. I'm trying to think if that's a good idea or not. Basically, you would start that timer, and because you know in what state you are, at the end of every timer, maybe you check in the timer, you do the one-off calculations that you want to do. So maybe we duplicate the match inside of here, and in here we kind of decide what we want to do. And in the physics process, we do the things that require functioning. On Hurtbox took damage, we also need to know when the health is updated, right? So something that I'm going to put right there. This is going to be useful. This is going to be useful to know when we need to switch. So one thing that we can do is have a dictionary. Let me think. I think we can have a dictionary. Oh, but it's going to be shit. If we made an export variable, it's going to be shit because it's not going to be very useful. So instead, we can have a dictionary that would be health threshold states. Something like that. Is this what I want? Yeah, I can go through the keys and I can check. Okay. So this is the threshold, right? So obviously you start at full health. Do I make something health related entirely? Like, do I think that it's going to be 10 health, or do I do percentage based? Maybe I can assume that it's going to be 10. So 10 would be states, phase voids. I put it even if it's not useful. You see what I mean? And then I would have phase missiles and phase out arena. I think I'm doing it like that. What do you think when you're fighting a boss? Because it's the first boss. No, it doesn't matter. I don't know if I should make it like, you know how in some games, phase 2 will trigger once the enemy is like completely low on health, and then it regains its health. I guess it feels like you feel cheated a bit when you play a game like that. You see what I mean? Maybe you feel cheated a bit. Because you feel like you're going to defeat the boss, and then boom, he regains all of his life and starts phase 2. Yeah. And so, I think what I'm going to do is, I'm going to show you the health visibly constantly, and I'm just going to switch phases depending on the health. Yeah, I think it makes more sense. And so, in this case, I might make the phase missile start at 6, and the phase out arena would start at 3, I think I will definitely have more health than that. Because having 10 health basically means that you need to hit the boss 10 times. We'll see. Or maybe the Boyd's phase doesn't stay for very long, and it stays for even shorter, and we switch at 7. Why not? Maybe. We'll see. Maybe it's way too easy. Way too easy, right? But we'll just have to modify those things. And so in here, when it's equal, oh, is it possible to miss? Is it possible to miss? Okay, let's check how we do that. So on health died, on health updated, we can check the health, right? So we can go through the keys. We can do for key in keys. If the health threshold key no. I want to know. I need to do it in reverse, no? I need to do it in reverse. Because otherwise I will do... Are you lower? You see what I mean? I go through the keys in reverse. And the moment I'm lower or equal, I switch to that if we are not already in it. That's good, right? Can you do something like reversed? It doesn't exist, right? Is there something on an array to reverse it easily without having to do anything? Invert. Reverses the order of the element. Yeah, invert. So I can do that, right? I can do invert. I'm looking at the key. I'm first looking at the key. So that is after. We don't have any music anymore. What should I put? Stream and chill, I think, is... I get demonetized on some stuff. Let's put some Riot creator safe playlist. So in here, what we do is, if the key is inferior or equal to the health, it's the opposite. If the health is inferior or equal to the key, and the actual state is different than the state, right? Then the state. Then you switch to that state. Print new health. I'm going to do that. New health. And in here, switching to that. I think this is it. But I need to see how people from different countries use different words for some stuff when speaking another language. English here, like you say, put the music because of mettre la musique. Yeah, because of the way we think about certain things, we're used to them in our native language. Yeah, that's true. That's very true. You can understand why some people are making certain mistakes if you know the native language, right? You're like, oh, I see why you're making the mistake, because in your language you would say it that way. Yeah, fair enough. Okay, so we have a way to switch when we take damage, so this is very cool. When we have a new state, I think we can print it in here, right? And what if maybe we just don't do anything? What if we try that? We don't do anything. But I'm not going to be able to damage the boss. Can I disable the hurtbox force field? Can I disable the force field? How does that work? Force field. Force field body entered. Force field effect. And when we take damage... okay. Nah. I will disable both of those. I will disable both of those for the test. So, hurtbox, force field, I can do disable. And the force field, I can do monitorable is equal to false, and monitoring is equal to false. That's going to be one way of doing it. That should work. So now, theoretically, I can damage the boss directly. Unable to iterate on objects of type null. What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? Keys is returning an array, right? Huh? Is it not able to do it? Var keys array? Is it that stupid? Keys invert? Nah. Invert. Am I not able to just do that? Can you do that for me? Can you do that for me? Oh fuck. Is action pressed? Is action pressed? I made a mistake. Is action just modify to use the correct function in input? Okay, made a mistake. Oops. Oopsie. Okay, so the boss is not doing anything. We have threat incoming. That's good. What? Do you think it created a lot of damages? The boss has a way to damage me? Hitbox. Probably. And I stayed on here, so it did some damage. No idea. Hitbox disable. Why do we have a why do we have a hitbox? Why do we have a hitbox on the boss? There's no reason, right? I don't understand. What the fuck? If I go on it, there's nothing. But if I dash on it, I instantly die? What is happening? What is happening? I don't understand. You know what? You know what, though? This is stupid. Let's do it simpler. Func input. If event is action pressed, let's use... I don't know. I don't know. UI accept. We grab the hurt box and we say take damage. You know what? Let's do that. Amount, damage source. We take damage amount and damage source. Can we null it? Is it possible to null it without being a problem? Damage source. You get the parent. If the parent are in the... Get the parent on damage source being null. It won't work, right? But I don't think it matters. We could just grab something else. Like we could grab the hitbox as something, right? So let's do that. The goal is just to test that our boss switches from the correct to the correct state. We don't really care about that. So let's see. Let's see. The boss is in here. New state 2. Oh, it makes me strength. What is strength? Strength? What is strength? What is that shit? Who is printing strength? Oh. I don't care about that. Let's do a nice little debug, okay? Let's do a nice little debug, because we never know. So let's have a var state to str. Let's make a dictionary. And let's say we want to have all of those. And we want to have states dot. A bit frustrating to do it this way, but hey. State dot. Okay. Initial. Maybe there is an easy way in Godot to do that. I have no idea. But let's do it like this for now. Let's do voids. Let's do missiles. Hey, do you know? Two things. First of all, Silo episode 10. That's one thing. Second thing, Severance season 2 episode 1 released, right? And finally, Hyperlight Breaker. This is what I have to say. If you want to react, don't hesitate. But this is what I have to say. Label. Let's call it debug state label. State align center. It's going to be center top. And let's put it in here. Grow direction horizontal should be both. And let's override the font with Manolo 38. Do you think it's enough? Manolo 38? State. Maybe it is. Okay. Then we can go in here and we can grab that. Skibidi debug state label, and let's go. And when we switch the state, we press new state and we do that. Text is equal to state to str, and we pass the state. And that way, that should be a bit better. Let's see. Text on base null or the value of type string. It is null. Why is it null? Label, debug state label. Sorry, what? Oh, because health updated is updated, right? Is it? Resource file not found? What are they? What? Is it because of that? Is it because this is updated? No. Is it because this is updated like way too early? Yes, it is. Why are they saying that? Resource file not found. TSCN 8. What is this? What is this? Manual 38? They can't find Manual 38? What? Manual 38. What the fuck? What do they mean? But basically what happens is the health updated is updated super early. We are not yet in the tree. We are not yet in the tree. So I think what we can do is if is inside tree. So if not is inside tree, return. We don't want to be changing state when we're not yet in the tree. It's too early for that. Is it still the same? I thought... What? What is wrong with that? So the health is set. We are inside the tree. We are inside the tree, but we are not ready. We are not ready. That's not what I want. I don't want to check if we are inside a tree. I want to check if we are ready. Is node ready? This should be false, right? Suck my hell, I missed Monday's stream. Hello, by the way. Hello, Mike. That's bad to miss. You made a mistake. We are not inside the tree, so we go away. This is very nice. For some reason... Why are they saying that they can't find the resource? What the fuck is happening with that? You see? What is wrong with that resource? And it makes... What? Look at that. And the resource 8 is the Manolo stuff. What? I've never seen this. Okay, let's do it differently. Let's go back to the boss. Let's override the font and let's use something else. Hemihead H3 might be a bit big, but yeah, okay. And for some reason this won't be a problem. I can only be here Fridays because of work. Oh my god. How is it going? How is the thing? Boom, Boyd's. You see, we switched. So now we are in Boyd's. That's very cool. Now I'm doing damage. How is work? Boom, boom, boom. Ah, I'm at 7, right? New state. Switching to 2. Okay, let's restart. I'm not sure. Okay, new state 2. Switching to 3. New state 3, new state 2. What? What? Also, the new state could definitely use that. That way it's going to be easier. Switch state. We go into Boyd's. That's very cool. That's my logic in here. My logic for switching is wrong. So let's take a look at why it's wrong. I need client credentials and I still have none, so I can't do much other than watching other people work. Oh my god, that's horrible. Still unorganized as fuck. And since the office is another city 2 hours away, they have me stay the week at a hotel while I'm training. Boring. I don't like that. New health 9. Hey, what the fuck is happening? Why is it not going here? If not, is node ready? Return. What? Are you not ready now? Oh no, you are. Oh yeah, but you don't have to switch. Okay, for some reason, 3, 7, and 10. Okay? So you go for the keys. The first key is 3. So if the health is inferior to that key, you're switching, but you're not switching, right? And you're not switching to anything, so that's good. Okay. And then, boom. The new health is 7, right? The new health is 7. So now, theoretically, the first key is not going to go through. But now the key is 7, and health is inferior or equal to key. You're right. You're okay, right? And if you look at that key, 7... What? 10, 3, 7. Why is it in that order? 10, 3, 7. Yeah, it doesn't matter. So now you should go into missiles, right? What the fuck am I doing? So good luck with your work, Mike. Good luck. I don't understand. My state is 2. And 7 is 3. This is all mixed up. Oh, holy shit. Oh my god. You know what is happening? Oh, I'm fucking stupid. This is all mixed up. Do you know why it's all mixed up? How This is a beginner mistake. How are arrays passed? When you pass an array to something, how is it passed? 1, by reference. 2, by copy. How is it passed? A reference or a copy? By default. A fucking reference. A fucking reference. So when I'm grabbing the keys inside of here and I'm inverting them, I'm also inverting the keys inside of my dictionary. Fuck me. Fuck me. Duplicate. I'm gonna duplicate you. Oh my god. Stupid. Stupid. I'm stupid. But it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. It happens to the best of us. And I am one of the best, so... okay, 2 and... There was a problem again, for fuck's sake. At 7, you did switching to 3. What? What? Am I still stupid? It's very likely. It's totally possible. It's totally possible. It's totally possible. New health. Maybe my logic is wrong, right? Maybe my logic is wrong. There's something weird with how long it... And it's still saying that the resource file is not found. I don't know what Godot is doing with the resource stuff in here. This is so weird. So right now you are in Boyd, right? I click, the new health is here. The keys are inverted, 3, 7, and 10. But in here, the keys are not inverted, right? 10. Ten two? Ten two? Yes. What the fuck? So what is happening in here? You grab the key. The key is 3. Is the health inferior? No. So you move there. Then the key is 7. Is the health inferior? No. But then the key is 10 and the health is 9. But we are in the same, right? If you grab the key 10, it's going to give you state 2 and the state is the same. So we are not switching. So we don't do anything. Right? Very good. So now we continue. That I don't care. And boom. In here, we are now at health 7. So we go through the keys again. Keys is 3. Health is 7. So we can skip. And now health is inferior or equal to the key, right? Health inferior or equal to the key. So this is true. And then let's look at this. 7 is 3. Is this what I want? State missiles. Yes. Oh. Oh. I understand. It's going to switch. And then it's going to go again. And for the next one, it's going to... Oh, yeah, I see my mistake. You see, I'm going through the keys in reverse order to make sure that we are only switching when we are below the smallest possible value. Right? So in here, we are below 7, or actually equal to 7, and the state is different. So we switch to a new state. But then we are also going to continue... And then the next key is 10, and 7 is lower than 10, and because we just switched state, we also have a different state. So in here, I should break from that. I should break from that. And now it should finally work. So, Boyd's, missiles, and we went back to Boyd's again. Why did we went back to Boyd's again? Ah, fuck. We went back to Boyd's again because we are different state. This is a shitty way. Why am I struggling like that? Why am I struggling like that? In your opinion, you see what I mean? Is there an easier way? Why am I doing something that seems so complicated? It could be, everything could be just hard-coded in the health update. It's just because I want something that is dynamic. Everything could be hard-coded. But the problem is that the next time we are going to have a different state and we are going to match with the highest. So I guess we have two ways of doing it in here. Because basically the logic is we don't want to go back to a state that was already seen. So either we keep track of what state we went through. That could be one way of doing it. It might work. Or when we switch to a new state, we remove the previous state. What do you think? We remove it entirely from the thresholds. That could work, right? So when we switch to... we know that the state we want to remove, right? We know that it's the state we want to remove. So we could have a var to remove. That could be one way of doing it. It's an int. It's -1. And in here, it could be to remove is the key. And in here, we would say if to remove is equal to -1, we return. Having an early return in here makes no sense, I think. It's okay to say if to remove is superior or superior than -1, we grab the health threshold stats and we do erase, and we erase the to remove. Would that work? It feels surreal. It seems so complicated for what I'm trying to do, which is just switching to a new state based on a threshold. It seems very complicated. Up here, Boyd's. Boop, boop, boop. And so now, we want to remove 7 from the states. Oh, it's not even that. It's not even that. We don't want to remove 7. We want to remove the previous one. Right? We want to remove the previous one. It's even crazier than that. We want to remove the previous key. The key that was here before. The key the key that corresponds to the state that we are in before switching. So not this key. The previous key. This makes no sense. This makes no sense. And how do I get it? Is there an easy way to get the key from a value? No, right? Do you agree that there's no way? to do health threshold stats. And also, is it fine to remove something in a dictionary as you're going through it? Find key. Oh, we have a find key, and you can pass the value, and the value is state. Okay, so that should work then. Let's try again. It's so stupid. It's so stupid. I think it's fine for a dictionary, because a dictionary is not going to be yeah, but you're going to remove the key, so if you're going through... Yeah. Anyway. Oh, if I do that too early, and we are not yet starting, it's gonna not work. It's not going to work. I need to wait. I need to do damage when we are in Boyd's. Boyd's, boom. Then we arrive in here. To remove is 10. So we erase it. Then we are in missiles. Boom. We remove the previous state. And now, out arena. And it's dead. Let's go! Let's go. And so we can do simpler. That was crazy. That was crazy complicated for nothing. In here, we can say if... we can say nothing, in fact. We can say nothing, in fact. And we can say in here, when we died. We don't need to pass the health. And we can nicely switch to the state's death. Yes? Yes. Let's check once more. But I think we are one more time. Once more. Ah, fuck, I'm doing that too early. And I need to make sure that it's in the correct state before I do that. Otherwise, it will breakity break. Breakity break. State. Appear, Boys. Boop, boop, boop. Missiles. Boop, boop, boop. Out arena. Boop, boop, boop. Death. And when it's dead, it should not do that. Right? When it's dead, it should not do that. The damage effect that we have in here, it's... Who is calling that? Who is calling that damage effect? On Hurtbox 2 damage. If state... That way we can use the state. If state is equal to state death, return. And I could put a safeguard in here also. I could say if state is equal to appear, or state is equal to state's initial, return. I don't want to do anything. And I could also not do anything if the state is death, to be honest. Or state is death, return. Why not? Let's have some safeguards. Okay. Cool. So now that we have our states, that was complicated for nothing. Now that we have our states, we know that we can remove that, first of all. We know that we can do the rest. So, for example, move to random location while spawning the voids. My theory is that the moment you switch to the state initial, we can grab the timer spawn. Timer spawn is in here. We can grab the timer behavior, in fact. Timer behavior. And we can say, we can start it. And we can start it with a value. This is the value in which we are going to attack again. So... maybe we started very, very short initially, right? We go into voids, boom, 0.5, because the behavior is actually done in here. And when we are in voids, we do a bunch of stuff, and then we rend range, I don't know, between 2 seconds and 4 seconds. We'll see if it works. In here, we want to do two things. Compute new location. And spawn voids. Spawn voids from inside the arena. Move to a random location while spawning the voids. What do you think? How do I do that? Compute new location, spawn the voids. Do I have a way? With the walls to check? Is point safe or something? Get closest safe point. How am I doing that? Offset the polygon inside to have safe area to work with. Check if point is already inside the safe polygon. If not, move the point towards the center. Move towards the center in 10 increments until the point is safe again. Ah, that's pretty cool. I didn't know I had that. Get closest safe point. Okay. So I guess I can... But I need to have access to the walls, right? But I can assume a point. Like target position. It's probably not going to be local, but you get the idea. I'm gonna take a vector right that I rotated randomly. So I want to do degrees to radian. I want to do range. No, I don't need that. I'm gonna do range in radians directly. From 0 to 2 pi. 2 pi would be full circle. And then I multiply that by range between, I guess, 0, which would be the center. But that's not interesting to have 0, maybe. Between 0 and, I don't know, 800. 800 and then I check. So I can grab the walls. They are usually in here. I can get the closest safe point. I pass the point. Is the point already in global space when I do that? Safe point, vector 2. Offset the polygon inside to have a safe area to work with. Local point. Level background to local. So is it okay? Maybe it is. I can just pass my point and I don't have to think about it. No, I don't think so. My target position in here is still wrong because it should be the walls. It should start in here. So the walls, if you look at the walls, the global position is in here. I think I need to have the global position of the walls, right? So my target position should be globals, walls, global position, plus a vector that I rotate and I do whatever I want. I get the target position. I can put that in target position again. And then I can go there. So I think this target position should be in here. Var velocity for target position vector 2. Do I put it in here? And that way I don't recreate it every time. I just do target position. Position is that closest safe point. Okay. Bloop bloop bloop. I don't need to tell it to be a vector 2. And then I will be able to go there and I will spawn the boys. I need to think about that. Spawn the boys. Yeah, we'll do that after. Switch state is okay. And when you are inside, I could remove that, right? Now that we don't need it. When we are inside of the phase voids, we are moving towards the target position. Move towards the target position. And for that, we simply we either will define a speed or a time, but I think defining a speed is better. Because it makes it much more coherent for the players. My god, it's so fucking cold in here. So let's do that. Let's do var direction. It's going to be a vector 2, and it should be our global position, direction 2, target position. Like, we have our direction, and we define our velocity to be equal to direction times speed. Times delta. Because move and collide doesn't apply delta on its own, right? Speed isn't defined. I'm gonna define the speed then. Export var speed. Float. 400. No idea. Okay. Theoretically, I could also check to stop moving, because I will constantly be trying to move, but I think that's okay. If my velocity is empty, I could have the move and collide be shared between all of the states, or I can also just put it inside of the states where I want to move. That way I take less risks, I guess. Why not? It's going to duplicate a bit, but it's not a big deal. So theoretically, right now, it should already be doing that. Every time you're here, you compute a new position, and you timer behavior start again, and you check the states. Okay, so let's check that. It should work. Oh my god, I can feel the fact that I'm not having coffee. Up here. Okay, the problem is that... Yeah. That is not a good way of doing it, I think. That is not a good way of doing it. First of all, because it will... This is not a good way of doing it because, as you can see, it's going to jitter around the point. It's going to jitter around the point, but also maybe if I just lerp it a bit, it would move nicer. And also it switches very fast. Sometimes it feels like, oh yeah, because we don't know if we arrived. You see what I mean? I'm stupid. I'm switching way too early because I'm switching constantly in here. I'm starting a new behavior, not counting how much time it would take. And so what we want, in fact, is quite different. We want to know when we arrived at the target. Right? I think that's much better. Give me a second. I think I need that. I need to check. I need to check. We can get the distance probably. Stop moving if distance, if we arrived at target. So we can do the same thing as this. Get the distance. It's always more complicated than you think, to be honest. It's always a bit more involved. It's not complicated, like super complicated, but hey. I'm just taking the absolute just in case. I never know. But I think it's possible to have a non-absolute value. So we look at distance and we say if distance is inferior than the distance threshold, target distance threshold, then we stop moving. I need to find a way to do that, or maybe we do it the next frame. Maybe we do it in here. And so if it's smaller, we return immediately. We need to define that. Of course. I can define it in here. Export var target distance threshold. What should be the threshold? Probably like 10 or something. It's going to be enough. Maybe even less than that. 10 pixels can probably be less than that. Before returning, we want to start the behavior. And we can put it in here. And let's say start the next behavior only when at the target. That way it's a bit better, right? That's good. That's good. And we start a timer, so it should be better now. It should be better. Let's check. I have a hard time estimating tasks. I always have a tendency to think that it's going to be easier than I think. Are you stuck? Are you just not doing anything? What did I do? Okay. Oh, I'm continuously starting the timer. For fuck's sake. For fuck's sake. So maybe we should have like a waiting state. We should maybe have a waiting state, but the problem of that is that we're losing the state that we are in. You see what I mean? The whole idea is to keep the state. So we could have a function that is like, what should we do after the wait? But I think it could be a bit stupid. So unless in here, what we could do is if the distance is smaller, we stop. But we launch that only if the timer behavior, wait time, time left, is inferior or equal to 0. I'm afraid that it's not going to be is 0 approx. I think it's better. So if only we don't have any time left, we start the timer behavior. You see what I mean? Isn't declared on base float. Yeah, it's the opposite. I can do that. You see what I mean? Give me a second. If 0 procs, timer, time left. So if we arrived at the spot and the timer behavior is 0, otherwise we were continuously starting it over and over again. Okay. Okay. So that's okay. That's a bit abrupt. We can smooth everything out using a bit of lerping, but that's That's going to be for after. The movement is maybe a bit stupid. The movement might be a bit stupid because every time I'm grabbing a random position, what might be more interesting is to start from the position of the boys. Start from the position of the boss, right? But we need so much more logic than what I thought, because I don't want a random position entirely, in fact. Because, for example, the boss could be near a wall and could be selecting a position that is basically towards the wall. So then it's going to get closer in here, and the boss could be stuck towards close to a wall, because every time he's just selecting a new spot that is close to a wall. It could happen, and that would make it incredibly stupid. So I think we need something a bit more involved. I'm thinking something like we grab the position from the void, from the boss. We decide where we want to go, and we make sure that it's traveling. We make sure that it's traveling as much as we want, right? It might do a bunch of calculations for nothing, but I think those calculations should be fast enough that it won't be a problem. You see what I mean? Another way to do it slightly better would be to have ray casts in all directions. I'm trying to think. You could have ray casts in all directions and use the direction that that is not colliding with something, but that can be a bit more involved. I think it's fine. We calculate the distance. We throw a raycast to see if we're going to collide with a wall. If we collide with a wall, we calculate the distance and we check if it's enough or not. Otherwise, we start over and we calculate a new direction. Yeah, I think we need to do that. I think we can do that. Okay, so instead of doing this, compute no location, cast raycast towards the position to make sure we travel enough. Otherwise, repeat the calculation. You see, it's always a bit more work than you think. Always a bit more work. Ray walls. It's colliding with bodies, and it's colliding with the walls, excluding parent enabled casting to is okay. So, let's unready that. This is for the logic. I definitely want to put that in here, maybe. Ray walls. We are going to do that, but before, the target position should be starting from our position, and we check the safest point. The safest point. Ray walls. We cast towards, so we cast 2. Cast 2 is what? Destination relative to the raycast's position. So if I do 2 local, it's okay? Or what? Relative to its position. 2 local, and I pass the target position. I make it cast towards that. I mean, I will the visible collision shape. Hey, full box! Full box! What do you think of the Switch 2? Woo woo woo! We talked about the Switch 2. We talked about it. Actually, you know what? We are just doing boss design now. We're not talking about it. The Switch 2 looks cool. The Switch 2 looks cool, but I'm a Steam Deck player. So I will only get the Switch 2 as a developer. I don't care about it as a gamer. What do you think about it? Thank you for the raid. Welcome, and I hope you are doing fine. Blockshop works on the Steam Deck. I know. Ask me how. Ask me how. But I know. But welcome everyone. We are working on Hyperslice. Hyperslice is a game that you can play. No, not really. But you can wishlist on Steam. The link is at the top of the chat, and you can register to the playtest. And what we are doing right now is working on a boss. A boss that you can't touch. You can only throw stuff at it. It's going to be cool. You tried it. I did. I don't know if you remembered, but a long time ago when I saw your game, I asked if I was able to play it, and you said, oh, I'm working towards a demo, and at some point I will have a demo. And then when you had a demo, I was like, hey, I should give it a try. And I gave it a try, and I enjoyed it. It's a very cool game. If you guys are not aware of it, you should definitely check it out on Steam. Can I actually link it, maybe? Maybe I can actually link it. Or if you have the link, maybe you have the link. I actually announced the release today. No. You did? February 17th. Holy shit. Do you have the link? That you might be faster than me. Oh no, I do. I do have it. Holy shit. Okay, let's do a break. Let's take a break then. Let's take a break. Boop, 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 boop. Let's take a break. And let's enjoy that. Let's go. February 17th. That's super. Oh, but you talked about it yesterday. You were on Jotson's stream, right? And you talked about the fact that you were going to release during Next Fest or just before 17th. I don't know if the Next Fest starts. I don't remember when it starts. But a really cool game. I wish you good luck. I wish you success. I think you have a really cool game. I think it looks good. The concept is nice. And you see it's on my wish list. And yeah, I wish you good luck. So if you guys are not aware of that, you should definitely be. I'm releasing during the Games from Quebec sales. I got accepted. That's very nice. Yeah, you were talking about that you're hoping that it might be a good boost for your game. I'm wondering, but I guess it can put more eyes on it, so theoretically it could help with the initial boost and like having more sales faster and more reviews and stuff. Yeah, why not? I think how confident are you? Like and if you don't have time and you want to go, don't worry. But if you want to discuss that really quickly, what are you expecting out of this release? Is that are you Are you just proud of releasing something? Are you trying to make some money? What is your feeling about the release? I feel like you will reach the 10 reviews relatively easily, I think, right? At least I think it will look like it. It looks like you're going to reach the 10 reviews mark quite easily, and hopefully being positive during your event is going to get you even more coverage and stuff. So yeah, I mean, I love the game, but I'm not expecting much from putting out there. I like to have enough money to work on the next one, but that's a long shot. Are you full-time? Are you full-time on that? I'm not aware. I don't remember. But I wish I would. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. So yeah. That might be hard. That's the truth is the game alone might be not enough. Right? That might be not enough. That's the harsh reality. Are you also planning on releasing, like, maybe on the Switch or something? It looks like it could fit the Switch quite well. I don't know if you agree. More games are in the plan. Yeah, sure. I mean, that's the strategy, right? I don't know how you feel about it, but as an indie, and I'm struggling. I would like to make smaller games more often, but I feel like a good strategy as an indie, especially as a starting point, as a beginner, is to release smaller games quite often. Start to build a back catalog that people can get interested by. Building some revenue each time you build a new game. It might give some eyes on your previous game, etc., etc. Mobile game is in the plan too. Mobile version. Yeah. That feels like a good thing. Do you think that mobile can bring money though? What do you think about mobile? I have a very bad view about mobile. Oh shit! I need to go. I need to grab some stuff. There's a delivery. Okay. Yeah. I heard the guy. I need to go grab some deliveries. Give me like 5 minutes. I will be back. Full box, if you're still here, we can talk about that. But otherwise, thank you for the raid and good luck with release. That will be really cool. I will buy it on day one and stream it maybe. See you in like 5 minutes. La 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 lam. La la la. 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 La 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 la. I want to do two things. I want to I will write down. I will write there. That way I'm closer to the screen. I can see you. Oh, that was a good one. But then I'm not at the right spot. I should go away. I should definitely go away. I died. Everyone died at the same time? What happened? I just shut myself out. Okay, so... Do you see the problem? The modulate is not being used. Because by default, when there's a shader in God of 4, the modulate is not used. The fucking modulate is not used. Sorry about that. I will put that as the one I want. I saved again! I fucking saved! I hate my life. I do Control S all the fucking time. And now it takes like 5 seconds. Oh, it's really time to stop. Wow. Okay, the brain is going to struggle a lot with that. The brain is definitely going to struggle. Hey! Puret, thank you for the sub. I missed it. Thank you for the sub. Hey, I appreciate it. Thank you for the gifted sub to Tsunami. Let's go. You will enjoy no ads. What if we take a look at the showroom? Let's see how it looks. It looks like shit. Dog. Yeah, dog. I do agree. Alternative control. Alternative control. I'm going to take that player control and I'm going to put it right there in the fucking middle. Right? Right there in the fucking middle. Boom. I put it right there. And every time you're checking the button, it's not crunch. It's not crunch if you're having a good time. Whoa, 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 whoa. I was in the toilet and I heard a noise. I heard something that sounded like a raid. Kavino, thank you for the raid. Welcome everyone. Thank you for the follow. Cool. Whew. Hello Lupo, how are you doing? Oh, I'm tired. I just picked up the groceries. Anonymous Pierogi, thank you for the follow. Welcome everyone. I'm so fucking tired. We were talking with Fullbox just before you guys arrived. We were talking with Fullbox about Block Shop. So I'm continuing the promo, right? I'm continuing the promo. Govino, I hope you're doing good. Let me know what you were doing. Fuck, this guy is the king of good juice. No. I'm not the king of juice. I'm only the god, I think. And the Switch port feels like you need to work with someone. Honestly, Fullbox, I think your Switch port would. I don't know if you're still here, but if you're not, well, I'm saying it anyway, as I'm doing the Switch port for my game. I think your game is simple enough, and when I say that, I mean visually. You don't have any crazy lighting environments, any crazy visuals that would make the Switch struggle. So I think your porting would go quite fast. If you already have control support because you have the Steam Deck and stuff, honestly, it might work quite easily. It might work quite easily. If one day you want to try, you can give me. I need access to your source code, so that might be a problem. But I could try to run it on the Switch and tell you how, if it works or not. Dashbong basically worked from like out of the box. I used the port, and boom, it worked. I had pretty much nothing to do to make it work initially. Then, of course, I had to support the Switch specifics, and I had to make some modifications, especially about performance, because the Switch is incredibly shit. But it was relatively easy. So mobile version, I do like $5 later when the game's still alone on Steam. Okay, I feel like Steam. I feel like mobile. Premium mobile is very hard, right? Unless you have an incredible game that is like super successful, like Bilateral or something. I feel like it would be very difficult, right? I'm a little scared of the shader. What's the FPS limit on the Switch? You mean how low can you go? Is that what you're saying? You're afraid of the shaders? How many shaders do you have? It won't be a problem. It won't be a problem. What's the cap? The maximum? No, 60 is the top. 60 is the top. I run my game at 60 FPS. No, I run at 60. I run Dashpong at 60. I run Dashpong at 60. It should be fine. It should definitely be fine. Yeah. My game is a bit more involved visually, I think, because I have tons of lights and shaders. And what was heating performance, what was really destroying performance was a lot of lighting, especially with masks and stuff, and huge shaders. I had shaders that were reading the screen and reading even beyond the screen, and that was killing the Switch, because the Switch again is really, really bad. Like a simple blur could remove like a few FPS. But I'm pretty sure your game would run relatively fine. If you could run at 30 if something is wrong, but I have unoptimized stuff. Yeah. I don't think it would be a problem, to be honest. I swear mine runs stuff at 30. Maybe it's a Switch Lite thing. I don't think, because I think the Lite is the exact same model. But depending on what game you're running, if you're not running in docked mode, if you're running in handheld, the Switch, or at least the game, is probably capping itself at 30 because they're struggling to go beyond that. You have to understand how underpowered the Switch is. The fact that some games like Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom are running on the Switch is a miracle. It's a miracle. And so I would not be surprised if some games would limit themselves to 30 FPS simply because they struggle. The Switch is just a big Android tablet. I would add something to that. A big and shitty Android tablet. Does Switch only have one spec? I think it does. I think we checked some time ago. And even the OLED version, it's basically the same. Basically the same GPU and stuff. Basically the same RAM, everything. But yeah, I think your game would run a very old Android tablet. Yeah, roughly 10 years old. That's crazy, right? Does Switch 2 cause any problems when porting over? Apparently no. It should be easy. Give me a second. So I don't know yet about the Switch 2, of course, I don't have it, but the Switch 2 should be more powerful, so it should not be a problem. And apparently it's, thank you for the shader time, and apparently the Switch 2 is backward compatible, so it should be relatively easy. So yeah. Anyway, we were talking about that with Fullbox, because Fullbox has announced the release date. You didn't put it on the Steam page though, right? You still need to update the Steam page. But you said it publicly, so I think we can see it. Refresh. Oh. Ooh, the release date is here. Look at that. 17th February. Let's go. It's very soon, right? It's in 1 month. Exciting stuff. So don't hesitate to give the demo a spin, wishlist the game. And yeah, that's super cool. Congrats, Fullbox. And just before I left, I was saying also, personally as an indie, I think I think most of us should aim for small games that we release often, to create that catalog, to become better devs, to create a community and stuff. And with each game, you learn so much. My impression is that it's way better to aim for something smaller, and you still have some chances of like having a very big success, even if your game is relatively small. You can still have those huge successes that you see that are sometimes life-changing. It's definitely still possible. But in the meantime, you release games, you start to make some money, you start to know more, to learn more stuff and become a better dev. So yeah, I think it's much better. In my opinion, it's much better. And I want to release more games. I want to manage tighter schedules, and most importantly, like tighter ideas. I want to be able to stop thinking outward, stop growing ideas, and start like reducing ideas, like removing what's not needed, right? When you think about it, as an indie, as a game dev, it's so fucking easy to add stuff. How easy is it? You can think about adding so many things to your game. If you sit down like 10 minutes, you can add 20 more features. Adding is just incredibly easy. The thing is, it's easy to think about it, but it's incredibly hard to do. So I think the best way is actually to try to remove everything that is not needed, everything that is not going to make your game that much interesting, and limit yourself. Like, you force yourself to really make something small. My next game, I want to try something more in the vein of a node buster. Yeah, that I could make something like that in 6 months-ish. Yeah. I think personally, I want to aim for dev times of like, I would go as low as 1 month if possible, but like between 1 and 6 months. I think that would be ideal. 1 and 6 months. It also means that if you have tighter schedule, if you're releasing small things, you can also more easily focus solely on that and then do some stuff. What I'm trying to say is, when you work on a game, when you work on a big game, and you have a lot of stuff, like you work on a game for years, you definitely have to do other things at the same time. Maybe even just to finance yourself, right? You need to be doing a bit more freelancing, or maybe you start a YouTube channel, maybe you do other things, you create a course, you create stuff, and you have to diversify a bit to make sure that you still have some income. And I feel like it makes the whole process even slower, even longer. And that's kind of what I want to avoid now. I've been doing that. I've been doing some of that. I've been like doing everything at once, and I don't like it. I feel like basically you make no progress. And I feel like it would be much more efficient to focus on something, you do it, then you move to the next thing. You focus on your course, you make 1 month, 2 months, I don't know how long, you release it, and then you move to something else. You make a game, small game, and when I say you focus on it, it means that because the deadline is short enough, first of all, you don't have a lot of time to do something else, and also you don't feel bad. Like, I have a YouTube channel. If I'm making a game in 3 months, and I make videos at the end of that, it's okay, right? For 3 months, I didn't do any videos, but it's cool because I made a game, and then I can talk about it, or I can do other things, right? So anyway, all of that to say, congrats, and cool games, small games are cool. I have to crunch a little. Yeah, okay. Yeah, sure. 1 month is insane. You think 1 month is insane? I think it's... you know what? I think many devs should try to make a commercial game in 1 month, because I think it's a great challenge. I'm not saying you will succeed, and I'm not saying the game will make money, but I think it's a great example. It's a good way to force yourself to learn how to make small games. And it's very different than making a game jam. Because in a game jam, especially if it's like 2 days, you don't have a lot of time, so you have to you aim small. And usually you aim bigger, right? But holy shit, in 1 month, it feels long enough to do something, but at the same time it's super short. So I think it's a very, very good thing. You want to start a new sock pop? Let's get the paperwork in place. You know what, Fullbox? It would be cool, right? But at the same time, I'm wondering if they don't feel pressure. I discussed with Aaron from Suckpop a while ago. I discussed with him for a video, and I have an interview with them. I think the interview is available on Patreon if you're a supporter. It was a long time ago, right? Kamilos, thank you so much for the gifted sub. Thank you so much for the gifted sub. I really appreciate it. And what I wanted to say is, at some point they started to feel the pressure, right? I remember when we discussed it, they started to feel the pressure. Like, producing a game each month meant that they had like 3 to 4 months to make a game, because they were a team of 4, I think, at the time. I don't know if it's still the case, but they basically had like 3 to 4 months to make a game. And that is short. That is short, especially since at the end of those 3 to 4 months, you have to make another one, and you constantly have to make another one. And it means that you have to juggle between, managing the expectations, creating the thing, thinking about the next game, that way you don't spend too much time, like, not doing anything. And they were glad that the Patreon was here to help support them, but the Patreon was not making that much money. I remember when I talked to them, so it was maybe 2 years ago now. Hey, Judson, how are you doing? We discussed that, I think, 2 years ago. The Patreon was making just enough money for them to have a base salary, right? A base salary that would help them to not die. That would be the bare minimum. It was just enough for that. So sometimes they will have a big success, like How's the Game? They released a game. It was a fucking huge success. It made a lot of money. Stacklands made a ton of money. This is going to help them a lot, right? It's going to carry them for a while, especially since they decided to share the money. I mean, they are a collective, right? But it's one of them that made the game, and they shared the money. That's this is something you don't think about. This is something you don't think about when you get with other people to make a game. What happens? What happens if the game is incredibly successful? How do you share the money? Do you still share? Do you keep it for yourself? What do you do with it? Do you continue? If it's making enough money, maybe you want to stop making games. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is, working with other people, especially in a tight schedule like that, it seems difficult. So ideally, one day, I think I would love to try it, and I want to collaborate more. Like when I'm watching you guys, when I'm watching Jodson, when I'm watching you, Fullbox, from time to time, I don't necessarily say hi in the chat, but I'm lurking. I put you in the background when I work. Sometimes it's like, oh shit, you know what? I would love to make a game with those guys. You have tons of very talented people online, not just streaming, but generally using Godot. But also it's frightening, right? Because for how long? How long do you need to work with that person? Do you know that person? Not really. And of course, I'm not talking about the admin stuff and the paperwork and stuff. That is a nightmare, especially since we don't live in the same country and not even the same continent. Arctic Man, hello. How are you doing? And Loctogo and Flame Lizard. Everyone is here. What is happening? Hello, everyone. Welcome. 3 to 4 months is sure to make a game, says the man who tell people to make a game in 1 month. I know it sounds like that, but at the same time, if you make a game in 1 month, I think it comes with an asterisk, right? It comes with a bunch of things that we're not necessarily saying. First of all, you're probably going to prepare before that month, right? You're probably going to prepare some stuff, which means you are going to think about your idea, maybe prototype it roughly like one or 2 days to make sure that you have something that works. Because in 1 month, do you really have time to prototype? I don't think so. You might have time to playtest and make some modifications and stuff, but you don't really have time to prototype, I think. So you start with something, right? You start with something. So you've done some work before the month. And also, let's be honest, you make the actual game in 1 month. You make like the bare minimum, the base of the game. But it's highly possible that the end of the month, your game is not really ready for Steam, because maybe Steam hasn't approved it yet, maybe you still need to add achievements, you don't have localization, maybe you don't even have gamepad support. You see what I mean? So yes, you made a game, theoretically you can sell it, maybe you sell it on itch, but the truth is, it's not yet finished. So it's 1 month with some time before and some time after. So that's why I'm saying it's feasible, but you're not going to do that every month. That would be nearly impossible, I would say. Or you have to limit yourself in like so much that it could become frustrating. Like actually making a game every month and releasing it every month commercially, I think it would be draining and it would kill you really fast. And I think starting like the second or the third month, it would feel like a chore, but like crazy, I think. I don't know. Long time no see. Yeah, it's been a while. The paperwork is the thing that stops me make more collabs like that. Yeah, exactly. Could team up for a good wild jam. Collabs for free games, sure. Yeah. That's true. I collabed once in my life. I collabed once on a jam with Woland. We made a strain. It was really cool. And I think it worked well, even though we overscoped like crazy. I think it worked well because we were on the same line, on the same ideas, right? We had a good chemistry, and that's also something that you don't know in advance, right? You know the person through the streaming, which is a very small part of who they are. If one of you guys hits it big, I may come asking for a job one day. I mean, that would be quite incredible, right, Jotson? I think that would be a huge accomplishment. I would love that. But don't expect it. Don't expect it from me, because I'm definitely not aiming for games that have that potential, I think. I'm not aiming... My goal is not to make games that will be so successful that I will need to hire people. The longest I can do stuff on my own, and I'm not counting collabs in that. I'm just counting. My goal is not to open a studio. My goal is not to hire people, because again, it's another nightmare of paperwork, of managing people, of working with others. It's so difficult. And I think what I care about is making games, not being a boss, right? I think, of course, it depends on the structure and how many you are. You worked with Bipin Bits, right? So probably Bipin Bits is not big enough to have that problem. But still, when you are the boss, you have some work to do, which is not making games. And I don't really know if I don't think I want that. I have a Godot army and a Dogo army. I saw you had a look at the 2D shaders instance parameters, PR. Yeah, I did. It's pretty cool, right? Thank you for doing that. Imagine a games company made up entirely of Twitch streamers and viewers. Would anything get done? Or would it all be just chatting? I think we know the answer. It would be just chatting. We wouldn't do anything. Working on games every month would be incredibly draining indeed. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it's a relationship, right? Yeah. I've worked with people in projects before, but our goals were really different, and it clashed a little. Yeah, being very open from the beginning is important. I think to be honest, one of the best way to make sure that it works is to have like a pre-meeting where you discuss what is that you want, the goals and stuff like that, and you make sure that your goals align. This is actually what we did with Woland before we even decided to do the jam together. We did a call and we started discussing like, okay, what kind of game do you want to make? What kind of genre? How long do you want? Do you want to crunch? You don't necessarily think about it, but how much time do you have? Okay, the jam is going to be 4 days. How much time do you have? Are you expecting to work the 4 days? Are you expecting to crunch like crazy? Or do you want to take it very slow? Things like that. And I think this is very important, because that way you make sure that it's not going to start on the wrong foot. Is that the expression? I don't know. You can hire me as the top 1 viewer. I want money. K Milos, no. Just because you asked, I'm gonna say no. Get in line. Exactly. Get in line. I picked up the scraps from the other contributors since it was already dropped 3 times. Oh my god. Didn't want it to fail just because it missed the compatibility renderer support. That's cool. I would really love to start working on a more 3D advanced game, learning currently level design, and I'm already looking forward to apply that knowledge. Global game champs will be it, hopefully. Yeah. What do you... when you say more advanced game, what do you mean? Is that in the complexity of like the mechanics and stuff, or like the scope, or what do you mean? You're the top 1 mod, I'm the top 1 VIP, is it okay? What did you say, Vex? Oh, Vex, oh yeah, just chatting. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's important. Yeah. 2.5D for me. 2.5D? Nah. It's in the middle. I don't like that. It's either we do 2D or we do 3D, not in the middle. Oh, right, so we're gonna get back to packing. You're packing. Okay, cool. Cool. No lurk here, poor streamer. Fuck you, K-Milos. I like 2D in a 3D world. Oh, okay. Is it like sprite based 3D? Like you have all of the things 3D. You're actually playing a 3D game, but just the sprites it's just 2D sprites, right? Oh, okay, that's very different from what I thought. Okay, yeah. Then I agree. It's kind of cool. It gives a cool look that is starting to become quite used, though, right? A lot of people are doing that. But recently I played Crew, a Godot game that is doing a bit of that, I think. Is it? No, it's not sprite based. Ah, I said some stupid things. It's not sprite based, I think. It looks like it might be sometimes, but actually it's 3D. So yeah, not exactly. Really cool though. If you like fast FPS, you should definitely play it. It's fucking good. I want the technical capability, like Enter the Gungeon is 3D. That's what I want to research a little. Okay. I feel like there are not that many 3D games with more complex levels design made in Godot. Partly due to VRAM constraints, but I would love to try it. I mean the level design in 3D. Okay. Yeah, I don't know if I can think... what would be an example of a game in general with complex level design? Do you have an example of that? That is not a Godot game, but a game that you consider complex in levels. But it looks 2D. Yeah. Okay, I see what you mean. For example, see the demo that was shared recently with the Winter Village and Itch? This kind of level design, but more of that. Yeah, okay, I see. I wonder if there's a specific name for that. For me, 2.5D means 3D character in a 2D view, as in Smash Bros. Oh. 2.5D means so much thing, right? Some people refer as Fez as a 2.5D game, I think. So it really means nothing when you think about it. In my opinion, if your game is 3D with 2D sprites, it is just a 3D game. It is not a 2.5D game. It is a 3D game with a 2D aesthetic. You see what I mean? In that case, it refers to the aesthetic, whereas the 2.5D of Fez doesn't refer to the aesthetic, it refers to the actual gameplay, which is quite different. And in 2D, in Smash, that's also kind of the same thing. The 2.5D refers more to the gameplay, in the fact that you're like stuck to one axis. The phrase has evolved over time. Yeah, definitely. So guys, if you want to help me, don't hesitate to register to the playtest, okay? I need to go back to a bit of work, but I will soon stop, I guess. We are getting closer to the end. I just want to do a bit more stuff I just want to finish this, the moving stuff, and maybe we do a bit of visuals. A bit of visuals on the boss? I don't know. Playtest. Oh fuck, that's the wrong stuff. That's the wrong stuff. That's an older version. You can play that if you want. That's an older version. But the true version is on Steam. You can register on Steam. Are you yourself participating in Global Game Jam? Usually not. Usually not. To be honest, right now I'm trying to focus on the next fest and also probably the co-op fest. So honestly, right now I'm focusing on Hyperslice to make sure that I have a demo. So I will not do game jams. Speaking about game jams, have you seen the guy from Ludum Dare? Have you seen the guy from Ludum Dare? Ludum Dare. What is the name of the guy? Can you help me? What is the name of the guy? Let me try to find it. So the 2025 Mike, yes, thank you. The 2025 events are cancelled, right? You know about it. And I think part of it, if I'm correct me if I'm wrong, I think part of it was a lack of money from Mike. Am I correct? And so some people talked about it. He's out of money, exactly. So some people talked about it. Oh, this is crazy. Okay, I'm gonna show you something. Looking for work. Okay. Something crazy happened. So I saw Kini talked about it. Rami, Ismail talked about it. They shared the story and they shared the fact that he has a Patreon. When I looked at the Patreon, I think the story was out there already. So I was not there at the beginning. So I don't know the number exactly at the beginning. But when I looked, he was receiving around $200, maybe a bit more, on Patreon. Since then, it's been like, I don't know, a week or something? Nearly $1,400. Nearly $1,400. So it worked, right? It worked. It worked. I don't know if it's enough. That seems like a lot of money, right? But if you don't have a work, depending on where you live, this is not enough. If you live in America, this is probably not enough. If you live in France, I can probably live off of that. I need roughly 1,000 euros per month to live, right? Maybe even less if I'm being very frugal. But that's quite impressive, right? It doesn't mean it will stay like that. That's very true. You're also right. You're also right. It's a good thing that you pointed out. Of course, when you have a story like that where someone is running something that every game dev is aware of, the Ludum Dare, it's so important to everyone. When you see the story and you're like, and you see the guy is struggling financially, you go and help, and that's why the number went up so fast. But as you're saying, some people are probably using that as a one-time donation, and next month it might be dropping, and the month after it might be dropping, and so we don't know if it's going to be sustained at such a high level. Probably not. But that might still help a lot. I don't know. And so as you can see, he made a... Is that everything? The post is locked. I can't see, right? A big thank you and stay tuned. Okay. I know someone that lives from Patreon, and he told me that the subscription can vary volatile. I do have a Patreon, and I see the volatility. Even though I don't have a lot of subscribers. And maybe because I don't have a lot of subscribers, I see the volatility even more. Because, for example, I have tiers that are quite high, to be honest. I have tiers that are going up to, I don't know, 20? I think? 15? I don't even remember. What the fuck? What is my problem? And so if, for example, if one supporter decides to stop supporting at the highest tier, it can become a huge difference. It can be a huge difference because I get roughly $90 per month from Patreon right now, and it's been stable for the past month. It's been relatively stable at that point, at that number, but it varied a lot because a bigger Patreon left, but I got many small Patreons that like compensated the difference, right? So my memberships, where are they? No, my highest tier is 15. My highest tier is 15. It's Ultra Juice. My highest is 15. And do you know why I added 15? Do you know why I added 15? Initially, my highest was 9, and I was like, no one is going to pay $9 per month. And Furet subscribed to the highest tier. I think he was one of the first. And then he said, oh, I wish I could donate more. And I was like, what? Really? And so I was like, you know what? Maybe I should just put a higher tier. We never know. And now I have 3 members at the highest tier and 3 members at Extra Juice. So you never know. You never know. So thank you again, Patreon supporters. Thank you so much. Honestly, it's really, I really appreciate it. Patreon is one of the best way to support because they're only taking like 8%. For some of you, it will seem like a lot compared to maybe a direct donation or whatever. But this is monthly. This is recurring monthly revenue. So it helps, right? You know that you're all at least going to have that. It's not enough to survive, of course, but it's one thing that is added on top of the other things. So it's always nice. And so thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for that. Are you going to submit to Cozy Family Friendly? Sorry, Fullbox, I didn't see. My game is absolutely not Cozy Family Friendly, so I'm not sure. The next fest is in February. Yes, Lupo, the February next fest. Damn, I have to pay 20 to Patreon, 20%. 20% to Patreon? Oh, you pay the taxes, no? It's because of the taxes and stuff. Is that why? I have to pay 11 to give you 9. It's because of taxes and stuff, I guess. I don't get it. They collect. I don't know exactly how it works. I think there are 2 things. Maybe there's conversion rates and taxes. Wow, a Polish name. Kasprzak, I mean? I don't know how to pronounce that. Yeah. So yeah, just to show you my experience, Patreon can be volatile because of that. Good evening, Video Game Yaks. How are you doing? It's good to see you here. So, cozy and family friendly. What is this? Cozy? Family friendly. My game is not that, right? My game is definitely not cozy and family friendly. So I'm not sure it would work. And just in case anyone is interested, Patreon is here. Alright, on that note, I need to go eat. Have a nice rest of your stream, sir. Fullbox, thank you for the stream. Thank you for the Google form. And thank you for what? Thank you for making your game. And thank you for releasing it. Why not? Why not? Thank you for that. Right? You're making something cool. Thank you for that. That's very appreciated. And I wish you good luck. And I wish you good appetite. There, subbed as promised. Mike, you subbed on Patreon? That is incredible. You subbed on Patreon? Why am I not receiving something? I'm pretty sure I have a Twitch alert for Patreon. Is it not triggering? Holy shit, you subscribed. And we have a nice $100 completely round. Look at that. Look at that. Look at how round it is. $100 a month. Completely it's perfect. It's perfect. Don't touch it. If you were thinking about subscribing to the Patreon, Please don't. Maybe I should not say that. Maybe I should not say that. I was going to wait for the first page, but you shamed me into it. That's so not true. I would never do that. I would never do that. I will take all the luck I can. Yeah, full box. It's going to go great. I think it's going to go great. At least I hope. I think it's going to go maybe better than you expect. I will buy it. I will buy the game at least. So you will have at least one purchase. Perfection. Insert Magneto meme. Alex in Cuba, thank you for the follow. Welcome. Don't hesitate to join the Patreon if you want. I appreciate the roundness of that number, but you can subscribe if you want. I don't care. Anyway, thank you guys. It's pronounced like in French. You would pronounce Kaspchak. Kaspchak. Okay, Kaspchak. Thank you so much, Mike. Appreciate. Okay, so cozy and family friendly Steam event hosted by Rocketplay. But my game is not cozy, that will not work, right? Good news. Good news, everyone. It's going on. Last year, over 1,000 projects applied, and we officially selected 160 of them. This year, we want to celebrate cozy and family-friendly games with you again. We had a spot on the front page in 2023, but Steam decides every year whether, when, what, who can submit already released or upcoming cozy and family-friendly games. What does that mean? What does that mean? Is Dashpong a cozy and family-friendly game? You think it is? Thanks for the link to the cozy and family friends event. Full box. Yeah, full box. You see, you're doing a great job. If you would like to, please use the photos in time. Sorry, publishers, you'll have to go through this. That's a good thing. Our mission, we love to celebrate cozy and family-friendly. You know what we can do? We can take this very quick look at that. First of all, Dashpong is family fun. You think it is? Okay, because visually it doesn't look cozy, right? You see what I mean? So I was afraid that it would not fit, but at the same time, I don't risk a ton. Maybe I don't risk a ton by just trying, and if they accept, good for me. If they don't, good for me. Also, maybe. So let's take a look at what was the event in 2024, right? Rocketplay. At Rocketplay, we're all about celebrating the cozy and family-friendly games on Steam. Okay. This is a bit big, maybe I will... Are you trying to do some injection in my stream, TYJ? Dashpong isn't cozy, but is family-friendly, I'd say. Yes, I agree. Okay. Dwarf Romantic. I'm jealous of that game. I'm jealous. I have an idea similar to that. Maybe I should explore it one day. I think. Anyway, let's look. Outbound. Isn't that game incredibly popular on Steam? Isn't this game incredibly popular? Oh, fuck, it is. 300,000 wish lists. I think they had a Kickstarter, right? They had a Kickstarter, but I think the Kickstarter made some money, right? But for a game that size, I don't think it's enough. 250k. Yeah. 250k. But the game is really successful so far in terms of wish lists. Unrails, Let's Build a Zoo, Summer House. Okay, Dungeon Crawler is in here. So if Dungeon Crawler is in here, Dungeon Crawler isn't that cozy, right? Would you describe Dungeon Crawler as a cozy game? There are cozy game playthrough. Cozy doesn't just mean cute. No, I understand what you mean. That's true, Video Game Yaks. That's true, right? But at the same time, I think putting Hyperslice in a cozy and family-friendly would be a stretch. 30k followers is like 300k wish list. Exactly. That's the conversion I made to get an idea. Brain rot injection, daddy. You should inject some subscription. I think that's the best way to inject brain rot. The devs of Dwarf Romantic are not working on why are you saying are now working? Yeah, I saw that. The game looks cool, right? The game looks really cool. The new game that they're working on, it's really cool. Games with claws, that's a good idea. That's definitely a good idea, Vex. That's definitely a good idea. I wish I would be making a game like that. I wish it was me. I would agree that Hyperslice is not really a family cozy game. Yeah, it's not. It's not. But I can try with Dash Pong. Is it fine to put a game, to send a game that was released? No. No, it's not, right? Let me check. Who can submit already released or upcoming cozy and family friendly games? Okay. So I can release Dash Pong even if it was released a long time ago, maybe. Yeah, okay. The new game looks incredible, yeah. Dash Pong could be very well be. Okay, I will try then. I will try. Ding Kong is years old, at least the EA. Okay. You can make a fishing game with a million variations of fish like Megalodon, where you can sell the fish, buy new fishing rod, and travel to islands. Yeah. Yeah, you could. Like a collection game, right? A fishing collection game. Yeah, that would work. I don't know if I would make a game like that. It's typically the type of game that I would make as a collab with someone, right? Simply because I don't really play games like that, so I don't feel like I would be incredibly confident working on something like that. But if I were working with someone that is maybe more attracted to games like that, or maybe someone that is more into art and that would help in that regard, I could be making a game that I don't necessarily enjoy 100%. You see what I mean? Dash Pong could very well be. Yeah, I would argue that they will decide if your game fits the theme or not. If you're on the fence, just submit. Yeah, full box. Yeah. It's just that usually I try to avoid submitting if I'm sure I'm not going to fit, simply because I don't want to bother them with a submission that, you know, imagine you're submitting to a game, to something like games made in Brazil, and you're not Brazilian, and you're not making the game in Brazil. That's obviously stupid, right? But you're right, in that situation, Dash Pong is probably on the fence, so they will decide. Ask for forgiveness, not permission. Yes, you're right. I will do that. And that's quite a big event, right? That's quite a big event. And they have the front page. When an event has a front page, it's so cool. And what I can do for an event like that, I can do huge sale plus demo. That way I would be in a section that is like discounted, and I would also be in a demo section. So that's twice as much chance to be discovered. That looks cool. I like this style. I don't know why I like this style. Do you like this style? Like this cartoony with messy outlines. Do you like this style? A bit hand-drawn, messy outlines. I don't know, I like that. When your hair goes from the sides, get a lower taper fade. Do you think I get fades or anything? I just use my thingy and I do I don't go to the hair thingy. And I know it shows, you can see it, but I don't really care. I didn't submit to events because I felt like I didn't fit, but then I saw similar games. I regretted it a lot. Yeah, especially since events like that can be such a huge boost. Did you guys see the Godot beta? Can't wait for 4.4. I did. 4.4 is going to be a big release. I need to start preparing the video for 4.4 because it's going to require some work. They haven't confirmed they have the front page yet. They're I know. But even if they don't, it's still a good thing to be in an event like that. It's just another excuse to get more eyes on your game, to talk about it. It's always good. When the style reminds me of Borderlands. Yes, of Borderlands, but maybe less harsh. Maybe more cute. It's not really cute though. That is cute. That is cute. What is this? It's a music adventure. Kibu. Exploration. So many cool games. It's sometimes you're looking at all of those games and you're like, why the fuck am I doing that? Why the fuck am I doing that? Who do I think I am? Right? Who do I think I am? Why would I manage to do something? You have to be crazy sometimes to continue that. That is also a cool style, like hand drawn. And in another more like hand drawn style, I like this, and this is approachable, I think, as an indie. Sometimes I love an art style simply because it's also something I can reproduce. Are you biased like that? Like, I can appreciate something that is way out of my league, of course. But sometimes I appreciate a style because I'm like, hey, I could do something like this. And so it makes me appreciate the style even more. This is definitely approachable, for example. Like, a bit sock puppy, right? Sock puppy style. It's not pixelated enough to be sock pop, but you get the idea. 1 million revenue, for fuck's sake. That's crazy. I mean, Borderlands has more hard-styled edges. The game just now had more. Yeah. It's true. Play as an interstellar custodian sent to clean up a polluted ocean planet, pick up trash, explore the vibrant waters, and take care of axolotl-like alien creatures. Okay, 1 million. Congrats. 19, that's why. You have a big price also. That helps. That helps generate a lot of revenue, right? It's something to think about. When you make a game with a very low price, you need to do a lot of volume to get any meaningful money out of it. But at the same time, if you price it too high, you might also not make money at all, because people will always wait for the sales. For the sales? I don't know. But too many games. We can make too many games. That's frustrating. Okay, anyway, let's go back to the boss, right? Make a game like Subnautica. It's too big. And I don't know if I even enjoy Subnautica myself. Okay, let's go back to what we were doing, guys. State. We have our boss. We get a new position. We cast to that position. We force the raycast. So we do ray walls. Force raycast update. If the ray walls are colliding, we need to check the distance. So we get the position. Position? No, not position. Collision. Get collision point. We get the collision point. The collision point is in what? Is in global space, right? Yes, global space, of course. And then we can do the same thing again. So what we can do is we can get in distance. Var dist float. The collision point, we get it from where? From our global position. So global position, distance to that. I'm also going to make it absolute just in case, because we never know. Absolute distance. What kind of games are we building? How do I describe it in one sentence? Hyperslice is an action arena roguelite where your only weapon is your dash. But you have two dashes. A push dash and a slice dash. It's like a shoot them up, but without shooting. I don't know if that helps you. So that is the game I'm making. And I think you have pinned at the top of the chat, Ariane. I'm talking to someone on YouTube, okay, Twitch. That's why I'm talking to someone. I'm also streaming on YouTube at the same time. You have the game pinned at the top of the chat. You can check it out if you want. And you can register to the playtest. So you make arcade-like games. Usually I like the arcadey aesthetic or the gameplay mechanics. I really easily come up with action arcadey mechanics. But I decided to go with something more roguelite to add some replayability. And maybe it's a mistake. I don't know. A dash 'em up, clearly. A dash 'em up is fucking cool. A dash 'em up. Should I use that, Vex? Do you think I should use that? I also enjoy the more fast-paced arcade-style games. Yeah. But you know, I'm making those games. I have ideas for games like that. But I also want to make horror games. Like psychological horror, not just horror, not like jump scare horror, but like I feel like horror is one of the best genre. Is one of the best genre to have a game with a message, to have a game about something. You see what I mean? I like that. I like when horror games are talking about something, are making you question things. And I feel like, to me, it's one of the best genre to do that. Surely I'll let you. But do you think it's actually a good explanation? Do you think it's good? Slash 'em up. Slash 'em up could also be cool. Slash 'em up. So if what we can do is we can do that, right? So while the distance is inferior to the min travel distance, you will redo that. You will redo that. All of that? Probably. Let's check if it's correct, but probably. And we need to define that min travel distance. So let's go at the top in here. In here, we will do export var float. What should be the minimum travel distance? It should travel 400 pixels. I have no idea. Alright, yo, I got to go. I will continue my studies and finishing my rating blog post. Hopefully have a good stream. Flame Lizard, thank you for dropping by, and goodbye. Silent Hill, best psychological horror. Silent Hill is a good example. Recently I played Threshold, for example. I really enjoyed Threshold. It's a short horror story. Mouthwashing is a very good example of the games that I like. I also feel like for some reason, horror games tend to be very creative in the way they do stuff, in the way they tell a story, in the way they play with visuals, with expectations and stuff. I don't know. I feel like it's one of the most creative genres out there, and I really want to explore that. Another thing I want to explore: toy games. Games that are more toys than games. I also maybe one day want to do something a bit more cozy. I want to explore too many things. I feel like film ideas like The Low Mourner Man do that meaning and kind of horror perfectly. Not horror, but you know. I don't know the lone mower, not moaner. Mower. The Lone Mower. Right? I don't know this movie. What is it about? Oh, in French it's Le Cobaye. Okay, a simple man is turned into a genius through the application of computer science. Okay. Yeah, it's like exploring a theme, right? It's basically you explore a theme that might not be fun. I do think it works to suggest what the game is, provided you're talking to someone with gaming knowledge. A slash 'em up suggests more of a sword fighting game, I think. Maybe. A dash 'em up, clearly, yeah. Have you heard about the Starship 7? No, I don't know. Drill. Drillmon TV. I don't know how to say that. Hello. Welcome to the stream. Oh, yeah. Dash him up. I watched that live. Oh, the starship. Ah, the rocket. The rocket. Is that right? It's a rocket from who? Starship. Blue Origin. How are you today? I'm doing good, Drill. Thank you for asking. Doing good. We were doing some boss design. We got lost a bit. I'm not gonna lie, we got lost a bit. But you know, that's okay. That's okay. That's life. That's life. So let's see. If the distance is too small, we grab a new position again, a random position. So maybe we should do something. Maybe we should do something intelligent, right? And because we know that the threshold. Maybe we know that the threshold, the minimum distance is that. So instead of rend range from 10, we should rend range from the minimum distance travel. That way we increase our chance to have a good distance. So if it's not the case, we compute a new target position, we make sure that it's inside of the walls, we cast again, we force the ray cast, and we check if it's colliding. And we check the distance. And then it's going to check, and it's going to go outside. Okay? Otherwise, repeat the calculation. And I think that is enough. I think that is enough. We have this new target position. And blah, blah, blah. Okay, let's check. So let's launch. Don't look at the boss. It looks like shit right now, but it's okay. I was hoping for a Starship catch next launch, but I guess no. It's gonna be a couple launches. Is it? So it's from SpaceX, right? It's from SpaceX. Okay. It's definitely colliding with something else, right? And now it's fucking stuck. What is it doing now? What is it doing now? It's stuck. It's stuck like crazy. It's not doing anything. Are you in Phaseboid? Oh, but you're not able to reach your target. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, I didn't think about that. You're not able to reach your target. Yes. SpaceX. Maybe. I'm not gonna judge you. They cut the booster, but the second stage has a rapid, unscheduled disassembly. It blew up. Okay. When are you single? Suck my hell. I love saying suck my hell. For you, it can be now. Oh my god. What are you doing? You fucker. What are you doing? If Ray Walls is colliding, yes? Why are you not too local target position? Up here? Okay. It's checking. What? I'm doing something incredibly stupid or what? Oh. I know what's happening. It's not taking into consideration the size of the box. For fuck's sake. I know what is happening. Oh, Fuck. You see the problem? Basically, what happens, I think, is imagine the end of the thing is here. Imagine the boss is in here, so red on red it's going to be difficult to see, but it's okay. Imagine we throw the raycast in that direction because we want to go there. We know there is a collision. We compute the distance and we say, oh, the distance is fine. We can go. But then the boss is going to move towards that position, but the boss is calculating to know if the boss is arrived or not. The boss is calculating the distance from the middle, from the center point, but he will be colliding from here. You see? So it's not going to work. I was super excited for that, yeah. I actually don't. That was a joke. I actually have one, but don't really use it apart from buying weed. If you watch the live stream back, you can see a couple of engines shut off. I think that sent it into a spin, and spins are really bad for rockets. Yeah, incredibly hard to control, right? I used to follow Joe Barnard quite often. Maybe you know him. You know he's a YouTuber trying to build reusable rockets the same way SpaceX are trying to do. And it's really interesting to see his journey and the engineering behind the model rockets, of course. Those are model rockets, but really interesting. Buy me Coke and Coca-Cola or Pepsi Coke. You guys, this is a stream that is not safe for children because of you. I just got a date because of your stream. Be careful, your date is going to be at the drifting land. Your date is going to be on a parking lot with other dudes and doing drifting, right? Be aware of that. If you're not into it, now is the time to run. Cool, we'll drift together. Okay. I just wanted to let you know. That's your issue of being gay. That doesn't make any sense. I tried drift battles 2 weeks ago. The adrenaline rush is epic. Oh, look what it is. I forgot I bought this. I forgot I bought this. It's for a video. It's for a video. As an LGBT, I have no idea what's happening right now. Fuck, you're gay. This is off. I only date straight dudes. You guys are stupid. You guys are stupid, but that's why I like you. Stupid funny. Look at that. Look at that beautiful little. I mean, it's not little, but. And fuck. And there's an LED inside it, so it should make some lights. It's for a video that I need to make. Cool, I'm happy to have received that. Now I can make a video. Okay, I have a problem. It's pretty late. It's pretty late and my code doesn't work. The minimum travel distance. You're going to try to travel this distance and it's going to... Okay, so what I should do is I should remove the size of my boss, right? I should remove the size of my boss. So what is the longest point with the boss? Let me check the collision shape in here. It's 152 units. So let's say 153, right? 153. Where should I remove it? from here, if it's inferior to the minimum travel distance, if it's inferior to the real travel distance is going to be that minus, right? So if the distance minus 153 is inferior, is that what I should do? Is that what I should do? I will remove the magic numbers, don't worry, the magic number, but I'm not sure it's what I want. And you know what I should do also? I should do that. If you're not colliding, you can return. You can return. If you're not colliding, you can return. Otherwise, it means that you need to go and grab more stuff. Like, I don't support flying a lot of planes. Yet, when I go to early, I still go and chance. Then why would I? So is that what I want to do? I want to make sure. No, but it's going to be... Yeah, I'm going to make it smaller. So that should work, I think. Maybe that's not the problem. It could be that it's not the problem and I'm just stupid. That could definitely be the case. I launched the wrong stuff. Okay, let me see what you're doing. You're moving in here. It starts by moving somewhere else. That is weird. And you're stuck again. What is happening? What is happening? I'm so fucking stupid. I think I'm too tired to be thinking straight. So it goes in that direction. It's safe. It goes in that direction. It's safe. It goes in that direction. It's safe. The next direction is here. That was not enough. And that is a problem. In here, it's going there, thinking it has enough. You see what I mean? Thinking it has enough space, but it's not the case. Am I wrong? I'm getting the distance. I'm getting the distance. And I'm checking if that distance minus something is inferior to the minimum travel distance. Ah, but I'm still getting the target position. I'm still getting the target position. So that doesn't help me. That doesn't help me, right? Because if I check the target position, my target position is somewhere that is too far. My target position is somewhere that is too far. But I'm looking at where it's colliding. I'm looking at the distance and I'm saying, but I'm still trying to go to the target position, you fucker. Look at that. Here's my stupidity. Here's why I'm stupid. Here's why I'm not worth it as a developer. Developer. No, it's okay. It's okay, right? Because I compute a new target position to avoid going to the wall. And with this check, my distance is here. And if I take into account the size of my thing, I reduce it to see if it's still enough. Why does that? It doesn't work. What am I missing? What am I missing? I'm missing something. I'm actually missing something, but I don't know why. I don't understand what's happening. But theoretically, because I'm getting the closest safe point, I'm not going to collide. Theoretically. How is it possible that the target position is actually... There's something wrong in here. Because we should never... In fact, we should never go on a wall, because the target position should be inside. So I have multiple things that are not correct in here, and I don't know what to do. Fuck. I didn't make enough progress. That's fucking stupid. I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like that. It should never collide, in fact. So there is something wrong in here. My too local might be stupid. It might not work. You know what I should do? In situations of crisis like that, debug target I could do. Debug target. In situations of struggle, of uncertainty, you put a ring on it. You put a fucking ring on it. Right? You put a fucking ring, you make it self-modulate greenish, and you grab that debug target and you place it. You place it. Debug target position. Global position is equal to target position. Right? You put a ring on it. Let's see. Let's see what's happening. I love seeing your story get. I love seeing something getting created like that in the chat. It's so fun. If I make it top level, maybe I should do that. Maybe I should make it top level. Okay, give me a second. Give me a fucking second, okay? I will tell the debug target to be top level. Do you understand? So in here, debug target set as top level, freaking true. And that way we go in here. We go in here, we still have the reference, and we do debug target. Debug target. It's a creation of a lifelong friendship for sure. You live quite far from each other, right? It seems to be working. Oh, the distance calculation doesn't work. I made a mistake. I made a mistake. Love knows no distance. Maybe. Cricket! We got all the raids today. All the freaking raids. Cricket, how are you doing? What's next? Browser 3D multiplayer dungeon crawler. Even more stuff. Browser 3D multiplayer dungeon crawler. Are you crazy? Thank you for the raid and welcome. I hope you're doing well. We will meet in the Mr. Ticon 2025. You know, I will probably start a game jam at spring. I will do a weird game jam. I have an idea, something that I want to do. It's going to be boring for some people, but I think it can be cool. Tom, Cricket raid, thank you for the raid and welcome. We're working on the boss fight for Hyperslice, and I'm struggling because I'm stupid. You see? Oh, I know why. Okay, I'm gonna fix one problem first. I know why, because the behavior starts. We switch to that, but when we are inside of phase voids, we start the timer behavior not right away. So why not start it immediately? That's the first thing. Welcome to the welcome raiders. Welcome. I hope you're doing good, and I hope your stream was good. Fuck, I launched the wrong stuff. I will have to leave soon, right? Because I'm not doing anything. Got a raid and run, bust some ass. We've got a lobby system and a peer-to-peer networked dungeon crawling going. Had 8 players playing together recently. Congrats. That's not an easy feat, so congrats. I'm impressed and congrats. Thank you for the raid again, and have a good day. There is something wrong. You know what is wrong, I think? You know what is wrong? La 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 la. Let's yield the get tree. No, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. Is it? Let's yield the get tree. Create timer. Just to have a second to see what is going on. Timeout, but I don't know if it's going to work. I don't think it's going to do what I want. As a square and triangle moving on screen, so achievements all around. I was in Switzerland for Christmas and thought about hitting you up, but I would be too starstruck meeting you IRL. What does that mean, starstruck? I mean, Switzerland is quite far from me, right? Switzerland is quite far, to be honest. Like, it's not easy. It's not like saying, hey, I take the car and I see you in 20 minutes. Oh, I didn't think about that. Like fangirling. No, but honestly, don't hesitate. Don't hesitate, because I was in Paris, you know, some time ago for an event, for a game dev event, and two things happened. First, a viewer actually went and we met, and it was super cool. It was really, really super cool. We discussed a lot. It was just so cool. It was just so interesting. And the second thing is that another game dev guy that I know was too scared to actually come, even though I said multiple times, if you are in Paris, don't hesitate, tell me, and we try to meet each other and stuff. So I'm frustrated. It would be a 3-hour drive from where, yeah, so it's quite a lot, right? But we never know. Hey, it's not working. You know what is wrong? You know what is wrong? The distance. There's a difference between the target and the raycast. There is a difference between the target and the raycast, and that is not normal. I'm not crazy, right? There is a difference. European thinking 3-hour drive is big. Prefecture, where you at? Yeah, I mean, it's huge. It's huge for me. I don't know, I get weird when I meet celebrities. Like, I met the best drifter in the world for a pic, an autograph, and I was literally shaking. I think it's different, though. I think it's different because, first of all, it's someone that you don't know at all, right? Like, you never talk with the guy, the best drifter in the world. It's more a celebrity in the sense that you really don't know that the guy. And also, on the spot, you probably have nothing to say because it's like, you know, you're going to meet him for like, I don't know, 10 seconds, and then you're going to do something else. He's going to go somewhere else. So I feel like it's a bit different because, I don't know. It depends how you feel, but I feel, I don't know, my brain was you know what? It might be like that. For example, I can tell you that the viewer that I met in Paris, he's actually quite young, right? So he was coming to the event with his mother, and it's actually his mother that introduced him to me because he was at the beginning too shy to talk, right? But then we started discussing and stuff. I was like, and I was happy to meet him. So in the end, it's like, of course, the first few seconds you're like, and you don't really know what to do, and then it's like, okay, it's actually okay, we can discuss, and it's just cool, right? I've met quite a few streamers. They're pretty normal and they have legs. They do have legs, but maybe not all of them. Don't be like that. Chelsea MF Denofa. I don't understand what you're saying. Guys, I'm too lazy to debug that. But there is something wrong in here. There is something wrong about the way my boss is moving. Okay, give me a second. Okay. Otherwise, repeat the calculation. That's what we do in here, right? That's what we do in here. Shit. We should do it once. That's the problem. So the target position, before returning, we should do that. And I guess in here we should do that also. Is it going to be enough? What time is it? It's nearly 8 p.m. Mike pledged €9. Thank you so much, Mike. I'm seeing the notification on my phone. So it's not stopping when I want. Can I make the game run slower? Am I running slower right now? Fuck no. Why am I debugging like that? Seriously. It's such a bad way of debugging. Come on, just move. I think the problem is that my raycast is not casting where it should be. Or maybe it is. I don't know. I don't know, but it feels very stupid what I'm doing. Let's go back to here. Let's put a bigger number. You know what? Let's put a bigger number in here. That should be enough. This is useless. Whoops. This is useless. I think I just need to go. I'm not efficient anymore. I wanted to do some visual stuff, but it's too late to start doing visual stuff, I think. That is stupid. Ah, fuck. You see, I didn't think of that. This is something to think about. The position. I know the get. Thank you for the follow, General Altens. Offset polygon inside to have a safe area to work with. Safe offset float -80. When you offset the polygon, you pass what? You pass a delta, which is a float, right? So what I'm thinking is in here, I could pass a default value and use it in here. Safe offset. And so what I can do in my boss, instead of doing that, I can pass a safe offset that is much bigger, like 160, to take into account the shape of my boss. Because when I decide on a new location, what happens very often, is when you decide on a new location, imagine this is the arena. When you decide on a new location, you decide that should be your new location, and it's safe, right? You raycast towards that location and you're like, oh, it's safe because there's nothing. But what you didn't take into account is that at that position, the boss is actually going to look like that. It's going to collide with this, right? So you should do a shape cast, in fact. You should do a fucking shape cast. But I don't think Godot 4 has a shape cast. You could do it using you could do it using the... I could use the physics server for that. If I want to be incredibly precise, I could use the physics server. That would work. That would work. But maybe with the safe area that I'm creating, it will work nonetheless. Your game looks amazing. The UI especially looks super clean. Keep it up. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I don't know if the boss moves enough. You see the boss? Okay. That looks much better though. But one easy way would be to combine a raycast with a shapecast. You see the point? Right? That means you would do that. The boss computes a new location. The new location is in here. You raycast to that location. You say, okay, the raycast is fine, meaning that the raycast is here to check if there is something in the middle or not. And then what you do is you ask the physics server, you use the same shape as you have in here, you put the shape at that spot, and you ask the physics server, is this shape okay or is it colliding with something? So in this case, it works. Now imagine you compute that new position. You raycast and you say, okay, the raycast is fine again because we don't have anything in here. But then you cast the shape and the shape is telling you, hey, there's a collision in here. So you can't do that. That would be an easy way of doing it. It would do more computations. Why keep the raycast then? For that. Let me show you. The boss is in here, okay? The boss is in here. Imagine you do that, and the point that you calculate is in here. If you just, or maybe a bit further, right? If you only put the shape, you're not colliding with the walls anymore. So you feel that you're safe and you're going outward. Of course, I have shapes outside to make sure that I know if I'm outside or not. So I could collide with that. But the raycast is a first check to make sure that you're not colliding with a wall. You're not going outside of a wall, basically. I personally think you would need to keep both. Test move doesn't collide, or whatever the method is named. Oh, you make it move. You would simulate the movement? I would not simulate the movement. I would use the physics server and put the shape at the right spot and ask for collision. I would do that because I know it's incredibly fast. But I guess you could simulate movement. There's also that. You're right. You could simulate movement. You can actually call move and collide. Yeah. You're right. You could do that also. That's very true. You can go in here and in fact, if you look at move and collide, you can pass a test only, I think. Move and collide. In here, test only. If test only is true, the body does not move, but the would-be collision information is given. So you're right. This is also possible. This is also possible. Many ways of achieving it, right? Many ways. But with the check that I'm doing right now, I think it's okay. I think it seems to be working. So I think I have some movement. Right? With the check that I'm doing, I think it's okay. At least I hope so. My only problem is that I feel like the minimum distance is not being used, or the minimum distance that I defined is way too small. I think I want the boss to move way further. I want the boss to have much more movement each time. Yeah, but I think we're going to stop on that. At least we stop on a success. And next time we stream, which will be on Monday, we will continue that, and we will do much more. I think I'm going to do more visual stuff. That way it's going to be a bit pleasing. It doesn't move that much. I feel like the distance is flawed. I feel like there is something wrong with the distance. It doesn't feel like it's moving 700 pixels, but maybe I just don't realize how big 700 pixels is, right? What do you think? Maybe it's enough. Maybe it's enough. I would bump it up a bit, a tiny bit. 800, let's say. Let's remove that. And we have our boss. So yeah, on Monday, I do a bit of visual stuff. I think we should still work on the feeling of the boss. Maybe before doing too much visual stuff, we should definitely be doing a bit more visual stuff, right? More behavior stuff. It's not spawning at the right position, the things. I'm spawning them at the wrong position. Interesting. We also need to show to the player that there is a shield constantly, right? This is something that we need to do. But it's something that we can do quite easily, because I think what we could do is, I said I was not going to do it, but now I feel like I'm going to do it. The force field is this. We could definitely have a force field that is constantly here and that is breathing in and out, right? You could have an animation player. I'm just going to use that to show you how it would look. Loop. I would make it self-modulate simply, I think, right? I would make it self-modulate nearly to something that we can't see. And then we go again, ease in and out. Let's go with cubic interpolation. Ease in and out. And animation is loop. Okay, it needs to be slower, so like 2 seconds should be enough. Let's see. Okay, maybe it's good, maybe it's not. We'll think about it. But what I think is cool is that you can do that. And I think theoretically you could also put a shader on that. Put a shader, shader type canvas item. You would have a uniform pattern text that would be a uniform vec4 pattern. No, it's a sampler 2D. Sampler 2D. You would have a void fragment. I can do it really quickly, I think. I need to read the in texture. So I would do vec4 in text is equal to the texture. I read the texture with the UV. Now it is shader time. If you want to shader time, it is shader time for once. I will read the pattern then. So vec4 in pattern is equal to texture UV. We could make it scroll, but I don't want to make it scroll right now. I just want to make a test. And what I want to do is I think I simply want to do color. I think I want to do color.a is equal to in text. And I think I want to do color.rgb simply being in text multiplied by in pattern, right? And in here I want in text.a, and in here I want RGB. I think I want to do that. And then in here I could put hexagon pattern hexagon. Is it doing what I want? This anime, yeah, let's remove that. It's not really doing what I want, right? Because maybe my pattern would need to be scaled. So uniform float pattern scale. Let's put it to 10. And let's put a hint range maybe. Hint range 10. I don't know. And I put it at 10, and then I pattern scale in pattern multiply by that. Sorry, what? Oh, I'm reading the wrong stuff, that's why. Fuck me. Would you look at that? That is not what I want. That is not what I want. So RGB, if I'm doing that in text.a and in pattern. So am I supposed to do a mix? No, if I do a mix, it's not going to do what I want, right? If I do mix of that and that with in-text A, it's not what I want at all. It's not going to do what I want. So I want to multiply both of those, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure I want to multiply like that. Do I want to use the alpha to modulate that? Yeah, okay. There's a problem though. There's a problem. Let me check color.rgb in pattern. My hurt spirit. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. In pattern.rgb. What the fuck is wrong? Can you tell me what the fuck is wrong? Oh, but I need my pattern. Oh my god, I'm fucking stupid. Look at that. Look at that. This is what my patterns looks like. First of all, my pattern is because it's not squared, I would need to compensate for the pixel size. Love your videos about UI stuff. Hey, thank you. Appreciate it. I'm glad you enjoy. So I need to use that. I think I just need to do that. I think I was just being stupid. And I just need to do in pattern.a. Bah oui, évidemment. Je suis vraiment un trou de balle. Je suis vraiment un trou de balle. Now, there is something that doesn't work. And it's that I'm multiplying... I'm losing that. So what I want in here is a way to reduce that value, like 0.5 maybe. No, it's not what I want. You see what I mean? I want to blend it. I want to blend it, not just show it where it is. Maybe that's where the mix could come in handy. I could mix between the first color and the second, but it's not really what I want. Right? In text.a, it's not going to do what I want. I'm not sure what I should do. And it doesn't do anything. The mix doesn't do anything. It's not what I want. What I want is something closer to that. You see? Something closer to that. I want to overlay, or I want to add them maybe. I don't know. So why does it do that? It's not doing what I think it would. I want. And this is probably because of the pattern multiplied. But I'm losing the transparency entirely if I do that. Ah. Am I crazy, or do I want... Maybe what I want is this. I want to multiply the in texture by the in pattern, but only when the in pattern... No, because I mean it's additive. It's additive what I want. It's not multiplicative. It's additive. So it's closer to something like that. It's closer to something like that. I'm wondering if it should not go to 0. Maybe be 3 seconds long. It's quite slow, right? But let's see, maybe it's good. Let's see if we like it. It's of course not definitive at all, but it's just to get an idea if it's something that we enjoy or not. Let's see. But I think I don't like it. I think I don't like it. Maybe I do. Maybe I do. Maybe I do. You know what? Maybe I do. And I promise this is the last thing that we do, because I really need to go. But that's not too bad. Aramus is still live. Do you think he's going to be live for a while? Probably, right?
And then it's like,
let's hope.
If you have that,
Let's hope. Okay, let's see. So it looks like this, and when you attack, it blinks. It of course needs to be more reactive. Okay, the base thing should not be the same. Okay, I think I just need to differentiate the two. The one that is blinking should be a bit more subtle, and then when I hit it, it can be quite dramatic like that. But I think it's going to look nice. It's going to look nice, but not like that. Okay. I like it. I like it. It's not too bad. It's not too bad. I like it. So let's go with that. Let's push that to be boss. How is it called? State machine. Movement and shield visuals work in progress. Perfect. And let's start a raid towards our friend Aramus. Let's go for Aramus. Oh fuck! I could have raided too much tomato. But let's raid Aramus. Okay. Miss this, you're not that big, you say? That's okay. Guys, thank you for being here today. It was very cool. I will see you on Monday again. I will see you on Monday again to continue working on the boss. Hopefully it will be cool. Stay tuned for the playtest and stuff, especially for the co-op playtest. If you have the ability to test the game with someone else, it would help me incredibly, because I need to know if it works and if it's enjoyable and stuff. Thank you again for the subscribes, and thank you, Mike, for joining the Patreon. I really appreciate it. Thank you for being here. Thank you for all of the raids. And it's our turn to raid our friend Aramus. And that's gonna be cool. See you later. Goodbye. Good weekend. Bye.